Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukhanam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadusham Tattvamasyaadilakshya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is power manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself explaining what is power manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you, due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you, out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I have added the ultimate powerfulness, Turiyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, playing with life, playing with being alive. Static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence, all these three has no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything listens to you. Everything decides as you want. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, raising your frequency, not work.
Now let's understand who is Paramashiva. Bhagavan himself has beautifully explained the Paramashiva in all of us.
Paramashiva does manifestation, maintenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion and liberation. He resides in his supreme Paramashiva Swarupa as Ajomuha or Adhomuha, unborn, beyond form, formlessness. Is Paramashiva Swarupa. That Paramashiva Swarupa manifests with these 5 faces as Sadashiva, Tatpurusha, Vamadeva, Ahora, Satyojata, Ishana. 5 faces he manifests and does the Panchakritya, Srishti, manifestation, Sthiti, sustenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Trobhava, pulling out of delusion, Anugraha, liberation. Understand? He does all these 5 jobs. Through these 5 phases. Now listen carefully. Tatpurusham, Vamadevam, Satyojatam, Ahoram, Ishanam. These 5 phases does Panchakrityas. Each phase, each dimension is not just one F-A-C-E phase, P-H-A-S-E phase. It's not just F-A-C-E, P-H-A-S-E. Understand? The creation. Not just creation getting created. Even sustenance need to be created. Destruction need to be created. And pulling out of delusion need to be created. Liberation need to be created. Then creation, manifestation need to be maintained. Maintenance, sthiti itself need to be maintained. Destruction, samhara, the rejuvenation need to be sustained, maintained when it is happening. Pulling out of delusion, trobhava, need to be maintained when it is happening. And anugraha, liberation, need to be maintained when it is happening. Those micromilliseconds when it is happening. So understand, Satyojata Murti as 5 phase, Ishana Murti as 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti as 5 phase, Agora Murti has 5 phase, Tatpurusha Murti has 5 phase. So, Tatpurusha Murti as is 5 phase, Agora Murti has is 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti has is 5 phase, Satyojata Murti has his 5 phase, Ishana Murti has his 5 phase. All these 5 Murtis, 5 phases put together is 25 phases of Mahasadashiva.
Bhagavan beautifully explained Paramashiva. Now, who is His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam is a reviver of Kailasha, the ancient enlightenment civilization, the great cosmic borderless nation. Is an avatar from and is a supreme pontiff of Hinduism. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam has made science of our manifestation, yoga, temple-based university for humanity, Sovereign Order of Kailasha, led by His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam and Nithyananda Order of Monks, Nuns, Hindu diasporas are working for global peace to give superconscious breakthrough to humanity. Nithyananda Hindu University, world's largest with extended campus in 150 countries, is collecting, organizing, preserving, time-capsuling, decoding, spreading and reviving 20 million source books of Hinduism and 64 sacred arts, science like Ayurveda, music, dance, sculpting, astrology, Vastu, and many more. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam is 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Shamala Pita Sarvanya Pita, ancient apex body of Hinduism and present emperor of Surya Vamsa Surangi Swamrajyam. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam has survived the worst persecution of multiple assassination attempts on person and character by anti-Hindu elements. Beautifully, Bhagavan now explains who is His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Everything is infinitely powerful. You realize your potentiality. You establish yourself in the completion, space of completion. You are God, that's all. All of us are gods. The first experience is that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degree. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel, experience the skin of the stone on rock on which I was sitting and the skin of this body. Both carry me equally. In both I exist equally. Sangha is a place where the tattvas are taught to you, and till it becomes satya, you are supported. Akhadas are basically founded by Sadashiva himself. All is ganas, Shiva ganas. Exactly the word gana means. In your length, breadth, depth, if you are filled by Shiva, you are Shiva gana. All the Shiva ganas formed the first Akhada. Later on, much later, Kapila Muni organizes Mahanirvani Akhada. Then all other Akhadas. Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akhada, the oldest apex body of Hinduism, I welcome every one of you. What I am teaching is from original Agamas Yogapada. The science very clearly declares, Sadashiva is very clear, manifestation of these powers happen when you experience oneness with Sadashiva. choose your guru, the best thing is find a person who is enlightened, experienced, who can play with energy, who can directly transmit experience to you, and who is in tune with the original Shastras, the source of the knowledge. All the revealed scriptures available about the yoga directly by Sadashiva for you to do research, study, practice, question the people who teach.
The science of power manifestation is a gift to the humanity, which is authentic, time-tested, scientific, and foolproof. Diksha, or the initiation from His Divine Holiness, Nithyananda Paramashiva, makes the science directly an experience for the initiates. The experience is directly authenticated by the Pramanas. The Shastra Pramanas, the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Veda and Agamas. The Apta Pramanas, the experience of the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nayanamars, Alvars, and Siddhars, who are the authority of Hinduism, who have scientists who time-tested and verified the science of power manifestation. The Atma Pramanas are the avatar who land on the planet Earth to give a superconscious breakthrough to humanity. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashiva, this millennium's avatar, personal experience of power manifestation. Shakshi Pramanas, or the experience of the millions of disciples, devotees, and followers initiated into the science of power manifestation by Bhagavan himself. Pratyaksha Pramanas, or the scientific studies which can be measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state. Nithyananda Jnana Paddhati for the power of teleportation from one sealed test tube to another. Let's go to the powerful cognition from Bhagavad Gita Decoded. Understand your incompletion gets more and more powerful as long as you associate yourself with them. Don't associate yourself with your incompletion. Don't even own up. Just disown. Disowning incompletion is complete completion. If you are convinced you have disowned these incompletion, you are complete. Here Krishna says he is a neutral. Krishna is in the space of complete completion, eternal completion. How do we get ourselves unconnected from these attachment? Please understand that brings unconnected from material possession does not mean you leave everything and go away. Being unconnected from the relationships does not mean breaking your relationship, forgetting your children, parents, and others. Please understand this very deeply brings neutral or unconnected has a deep meaning. Being neutral means being spectator. It is like this. When you watch a movie, you watch something on the screen. Do you become any actor in the movie? No. You watch it and let it go. In the same way, you need to watch attachment. When we watch them as a spectator, we get detached from them and complete with them. What do I mean by that? When we watch our materialistic wealth, we will not run after it. We do our job because we love it, not because we want to accumulate wealth. A scientist should do research because he likes to do it, not because he wants something out of it. When that is the attitude, the universe starts showering. The results happen of their own accord. The materialistic wealth comes on its own. In relationship also, we must be spectator. When we stop seeing someone as a possession and when we become a spectator to the relationship, our dependency on that person and expectation from that person drops. When the dependency and expectation drops, there's no give and take in the relationship. There's only giving, only enriching. The relation becomes stronger, complete, with other happens. When we become spectator to our thoughts and emotion, we feel a great sense of liberation. All we have to do is break from the shaft we create between difference in unconnected thoughts and emotion. We have to unclutch. When we see thoughts like passing clouds in the sky, we stop associating ourselves with them. We are no longer controlled by them. So beautiful and so powerful. Bhagavan here is telling us to be a spectator of the thoughts. Giving up wealth or people is not renunciation. Giving up the attachment to the thoughts, to all the incompletion, is the real renunciation. With a powerful cognition, let's go to the Shastra Pramana for manifesting the power of teleportation.
Section 3 of Vibhuti Spanda, Sutra 3.4 and 3.5. Yatha hi arto sputo drishta savadhane pichetasi bhuyah sputataro bhati swabalodhyoga bhavitaha tatha yat paramarthena yena yatra yatha stitam tatthatha balamakramya nachirat sampravartate.
Spandakarika, Section 3, Vibhuti Spanda, Sutra 3.4, 3.5. Bhagavan Paramashiva says, indeed, just as an object of static matter, which in spite of all the attentiveness of the mind, is perceived and seen indistinctly at first, then appears manifest more distinctly and clearly when observed with the strength of one's visual power. So, when the yogi restores the power of spanda, dynamic activity, in the highest essential nature of oneness with Sadashiva, then whatever things or objects or idea which is static matter exist in the highest dimension of whichever form, wherever, in whichever place or time, in whichever state of dimension, that things or object at once appear and manifest in the very way by the nature of his strategic existence. Bhagavan beautifully says how we need to be unconnected. Unconnected is not leaving the people, leaving the objects, leaving our way of life and doing something. But he says unconnected is complete completion, the middle path. It is complete perpetual completion, that you watch your life like you watch a movie. When you watch your incompletion, it disowns from you. When you get involved in your incompletion, you become the owner. When you become the owner, it drowns you more and more. The more incompletion, the more you get drowned. The more we start getting involved, the more it pulls us down. There is only two paths, either be complete or incomplete. There is nothing else. So when we get caught in the cycle of incompletion, the vicious cycle, it keeps on pulling us into more and more incompletion. When we learn to watch it, it disowns from us and our priorities are different, the oneness with Paramashiva, the divinity space in us, which is more important in us, again cherish that, then it brings us to the higher reality. It's we who raise ourselves by ourselves, we who lower ourselves by ourselves. Again and again, Bhagavan says that. And here he clearly says, when you go for a movie, you don't become the hero. How in your life, why have you become the incompletion? Start looking at incompletion as though like the movie, how it is existing and not getting clutched with that. Whatever happens in the life is auspicious. Whether somebody cheated us, whether somebody abused us, whether somebody praised us, everything is a happening of our life. It is not that we should not take responsibility for those actions, but be unconnected inside and take the responsibility for acting, Bhagavan says. From the space of Paramashiva, if you take actions that Paramashiva is manifesting, he will be all the way better than whatever we do, even out of the small things that we do, will lead us to more incompletion. Bhagavan beautifully says how we need to exist, how we need to live every thought and word and action in our life again and again, feel unconnected to everything as you would feel when you wake up from the dream. You feel the dream, everything happened, but when you wake up, you know it is not connected to your life. It is just some dream. Same way, when you wake up from this dream also, you'll understand that all the things happen, the way perceived is completely wrong. So only that can happen by you unclutching again and again and again, unbroken, continuous inside us. Then we start understanding that what we perceive in this world is not the same as we realize. Bhagavan gives it very simple and very powerful. Bhagavan tells the story of the bird which sits on the tree, and there's a golden bird on the top of the branches. This bird wants to become like that bird because it's so beautiful and so attractive. But when it started climbing the branches, it started enjoying the fruit of the tree and forgot. Why should I go up? I enjoy here. Everything is fine. What is there in life to more achieve? And laziness and boredom, the bird is just staying there. But one day it started eating the fruits which are sour. Then it realized, oh my God, my life is miserable. Let me get out of the life, and only way is to me going up and to the other bird, golden bird. And it kept on doing this repeatedly again and again and again and again and again. And finally, it went to the big bird, the golden bird, and to see that it was no other than himself or herself. Bhagavan beautifully says this story for us to understand the whole thing which we are connected in this life is of no use to us, because if we are either having the luxury or having the pain, there is nothing which is happening to us. It is just a happening of life. And understanding that and living that mentally, emotionally, physically unconnected, that brings us so much of space between us and all the emotion patterns. The more the space, the less the thoughts happen. Simply more and more divine can just rush into you, gush into you if you make that space happen. Bhagavan beautifully says, asking us to live as though you are watching a movie, and the movie, you are not the hero. There is a hero who's resembling you. Max, that's all it is. Go on living, and everything and everybody is a reflection of you. Everyone is an acting in a movie as you see, and it is only a movie, it is not real. One day you know that whole thing is a movie, it is not real. How would you feel? Start living that space right now, And the real is Paramashiva in your space, who's making you talk, walk, eat, digest, think. Everything happening in you is because of Paramashiva space in you. The depth of Paramashiva, keep looking where it is, start declaring, start asking Him for help, start making it happen. Just more and more unclutched we are, more and more things around us, what we need to do happens by itself. Bhagavan beautifully says how powerful our thoughtless spaces and unconnected spaces. So, with this, let's go to the Apta Pramanam. Apta Pramana from Vishnu Purana, 5th section, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 65, verse 24 to 33. This is for the power of teleportation. Now that there was peace, Balarama went on the trip to Gokula. There he met his old friends, thoroughly enjoyed himself. One day he found that there were wine issuing out of Kadamba tree. Balarama drank a lot of wine and became drunk. Since he was drunk, he lost control over his senses. He therefore told the river Yamuna, River Yamuna, I feel like having a bath. Change your course and come here so I may fulfill my desire. Yamuna ignored this instruction. This Balarama was enraged and took up his plough. With his plough, he grasped the river and pulled her towards himself. You won't come, will you? He asked. Let me see how you can flow where you wish. The course of river was changed and lot of small stream appeared from Yamuna because of the pull of the plough. Yamuna appeared before Balarama and asked for forgiveness. This was granted. When Balarama bath was over. Lakshmi appeared before him and gave him garland of lotus with never fades. She also gave him 2 pieces of blue clothing. So beautiful how Yamuna appeared and listened, and how he got his clothing. So profound. And now we will go to the next Atma Pramana. Atma Pramana are the Leelas of Bhagavan. Bhagavan narrates, I have seen small miracles like materializing Vibhuti, the sacred ash, and other object. I have seen those things with my master who initiated me into yoga. I have seen him materialize the conch and other small things, anything that can be held by the hand. Those things do not need any great achievement. For those things, all you need to do is to see them as a gap between your hands should become a living energy field. Then you see you can start materializing and teleporting. Usually it will be teleporting. Materialization does not happen usually. Very rarely I have seen someone creating something. Usually it is only teleporting. I am able to do these also. Beautifully Bhagavan narrated, this is Shakshi Pramana. Millions of disciple devotees initiated all over the world, manifesting the power of teleporting powder or liquid. Here we have one Kala Devi from Australia. She beautifully narrates, today's my class was very powerful, very beautiful. I asked Swamiji, teleport kumkum, and after chanting the Mahavakya, I looked and saw 2 tiny bits of kumkum in the front of Kala Bhairava feet. Thank you, Swamiji. Such a powerful cognition and power manifestation. The pramanas, please let's go to the instruction and pratyaksha pramana.
Prataksha Pramana. Scientific studies, what can be measured, measuring the effect of being in enlightenment state. The science of teleportation. Science defines teleportation as a process by which an object is dematerialized and essential information about its atomic structure is sent to another point in space, where the object is instantaneously rematerialized or reassembled into its component atoms. Explained using quantum mechanics, teleportation is a mechanism by which information of the exact state of an atom can be transmitted from one location to another. In this process, information is transported from one location to another using an entangled quantum state. Known as quantum teleportation, this process involves a phenomena called entanglement, which is possible only on a microscale. As mentioned earlier, in classical terms, information is called a bit, and in quantum mechanics, it is called qubit. Whereas quantum entanglement allows teleportation to happen instantaneously, recreation of masses larger than an atom would also need a classical information link between the two locations. This link cannot process information faster than the speed of light, and thus there will be a time delay from point A to point B for teleportation to occur. Source is taken from Avatar Shastra, Chapter 10, Science of Miracles, page 202. There is a physical evidence of teleportation of structures ranging from sacred ash to larger objects across continent. Example, from Nithyananda Dhyanapitham, Bengaluru Adinam to several international locations outside of India. In physics laboratories, the largest distance of experimental teleportation is 143 kilometers. Larger masses made up of multiple atoms would require more time for reassembly, as they still need to use the classical channel in spite of information having preceded it instantaneously through quantum entanglement. Quantum teleportation is actually a process of replication similar to cloning or biological faxing, where the same information is used to create a duplicate exactly like the original object. The object itself is not teleported, but only information about it is captured and used. The main difference between teleportation, as science knows it, and more conventional forms of sending information from one place to another is that this is a process of instantaneous teleportation. In 1998, for the first time, a team of researchers at California Institute of Technology successfully teleported a photon across a distance of approximately 1 meter. However, in the process, the original object was destroyed. Since then, a number of teleportation experiments have been performed. In 2006, physicists at the Niels Bohr Institute, Denmark, led by Eugene Polzik, teleported photons across half a meter and used them to illuminate a cloud of atoms. This was considered a milestone because it involved teleportation between light and matter. In 2013, the research group succeeded in teleporting information between two clouds of gas atoms and to carry out the teleportation. Not just one or few times, but successfully every single time. The results were published in scientific journal, Nature Physics. In stark contrast to these efforts, the teleportation of whole objects and even people is a well-defined practice in the mystical tradition. Unlike in the scientific context, it is not just the vital information about the object, but the object itself which is teleported. Power of teleportation. Teleporting powders and liquids from seal test tube 1 to seal test tube 2 at a distance of 21 feet. Setting up. For the setting up process, you will need number 1, camera with the timestamp. Number 2, Yananjana, this is optional. Number 3, any powder or liquids. You can use turmeric, kumkum, basma or water. And number 4, 2 test tubes. Take a few moments to set up your camera. Step number 1, download the timestamp app. Step number 2, click on video. Step number 3, ensure that time is shown on screen. And step number 4, make sure the camera is facing you. Please take a few minutes to set it up. Guidelines. Before we start the power manifestation process, let us get ourselves ready. Step number 1, choose a comfortable location where you will sit and your partner at a distance of 21 feet away. Step number 2, partner 1 is to have a test tube filled with sacred powder or liquid and sealed. You will be teleporting the sacred powder or liquid from your sealed test tube across 21 feet to the empty sealed test tube at your partner's location. Step number 3, set up your camera in a way to fully capture the teleportation of powders or liquids from sealed test tube 1, your own, to sealed test tube 2, your partner's. Next, turn on the video recording device with timestamp, ensuring it has a wide-angle horizontal view. Partner number 2, wet wipe all the area and objects around the test tube and self. Also have an empty sealed test tube set up to receive the sacred powder or liquid from partner 1. And step number 5, if you have Jnana, apply it between your eyebrows. If you do not, bring your awareness to your brow center. Ask your partner to do the same. Manifestation from space and blessings of Paramashiva. Number 1, partner 1 to have the sealed test tube in front of the camera and pour the powder or liquid into it before sealing it. Number 2, partner 2 is to bring his or her sealed test tube in front of the camera to show that it is clean, dry, and empty. Number 3, throughout the manifestation, connect to Paramashiva and gently focus the powder or liquid while connecting to Paramashiva and asking for the teleportation to manifest. Number 4, sit for 21 minutes in a space of complete unclutching, zero thought during the Mahavakya chanting. Number 5, when the chanting subsides, take a close look at both sealed test tube and summarize the results. Manifestation outcome range. Number 1, particles of sacred powder and liquids outside or near any of the sealed test tube. Number 2, particles inside the empty sealed test tube. Number 3, sealed test tube 1 completely empty and sealed test tube 2 completely filled with sacred powder or liquid. Step number 6, stop the camera. And step number 7, celebrate with gratitude. Now that we know what and how to do it, let's get ourselves ready for the power of teleportation.
Power manifestation instructions. Let's sit straight, the head, neck, and back in a straight line, so that beautifully the Kundalini energy raises to the Agnya where the manifestation happens. Usually, our awareness is on Muladhara, Swadhisthana, and Manipuraha, where navel center, your below navel center. Here, bringing the awareness to your third eye and sitting straight will give us amazing possibility of power manifestation. Now let's understand few words that Bhagavan is repeatedly using. Shaktipada, oneness, be unclutched, initiation. So here first we will see in Bhagavan's words what is Shaktipada.
Let me give an introduction about what is Shaktipada process. Please understand. You would have seen or heard about how the chicken sits on the egg and hatches. Of course, in the modern countries, this does not happen. Machine sits on the egg and or egg sits on the machine. In those days, originally when hens and chicken were getting produced on the planet Earth, the hen used to sit on the chicken and hen used to sit on the egg and the chicken will come out of the egg. See, same way, Sadashiva sitting means the ultimate cosmic energy sitting on the individual soul and making the individual soul into cosmic energy is Shaktipada. Hen sitting on the egg and making the chicken happen, same way. You may think How come? What is going on here? That hen is only sitting just by the body heat of the hen. The egg is becoming chicken. Because no surgery is done and nothing goes inside. It's only sitting. Same way, it is just sitting. It's only the presence. The Shaktipada makes the individual soul into cosmic soul.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained Shaktipada, how individual soul becomes cosmic soul. And let's listen to initiation.
You see, let me explain the initiation. Initiation is the process beyond your intellectual understanding. The transmission of lamp happens. Now, you understood something intellectually. There is something which is not understood, which can't be transmitted through the words. That is transmitted. That's what we call initiation. Sometimes I tell people that unless you are initiated, the techniques do not create the result. The reason is you do not grasp completely whatever is expressed through words. Initiation is like it just transmits whatever need to be transmitted beyond logic and beyond words. People ask me why to wear this bracelet or this mala and all those things. This all will remind you. Why bracelet in the hand? It will remind you, before eating, did you meditate? It's a constant reminder. Before eating, let you be reminded, did you do the meditation? That is why this bracelet. That is why this mala. That is why this external things. Sometimes this external things does a big job of reminding you constantly. That is why take the help of external things also, nothing wrong. People ask me, why we can just be spiritual without having external things? If you can, really you are welcome. But I don't think anybody who speaks in that way is successful. I've never seen people becoming successful avoiding the external things, just having internal things. And it is just a nice way of escaping from yourself.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained initiation. Let's listen to be unclutched. What is to be unclutched?
The thoughts, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Because the gap between two thoughts is too small. The neutral space between the two thoughts is too small. You think all the thoughts are connected and it is in the shape form. It is not. By your very nature, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Between every thought, you experience a neutral space. When you change the gear, whether you go from neutral to 1 or 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 or 4 to whatever gears you may change, but every time you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to the next gear. Even if you want to go from 2 to 3, you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to 3. Same way, between every thought, you experience a neutral space. You experience a neutral space between every thought. Between every thought. That neutral space, that silence is what I call peace or bliss. The peace which exists, the bliss which exists already in you, between every thought,
the gap of the thought, the gap between the thoughts, that neutral space is the peace, is the bliss. When you understand you are unconnected, independent, illogical, and unclutched by your very nature, you will start experiencing the neutral space in you, neutral space which exists in you. You will start living from moment to moment in spontaneity. We need to understand one more thing. This technique of being unclutched, it does miracles in your being, in the body level, or in the mental level, or in the being level. In every level, when you understand the truth, by your very nature, you are unclutched. The tremendous quantum transformation. You take a quantum jump. The transformation happens in quantum, not step by step. Just one jump. You take a quantum jump and experience the truth awakening in you.
The oneness space is the most beautiful space that Bhagavan himself is explaining how we are ferocious. Beyond the tiredness and boredom, we can experience the space of oneness and be unclutched.
Oneness is not imagination. Oneness is not visualization. Oneness is not even just declaration. It is your existence. An idea which is you is oneness. The idea which has become part of your very space, which does not tire you or bore you by the passage of the time, is oneness. Mahadeva says in the Agama, Sadashiva beautifully explains in the Agama, Kala, Yama cannot tire you or bring boredom to you if something becomes your space. Devi achieved the blissful state and union with Mahadeva on Shivaratri day because our space became oneness. Anything which brings tiredness or boredom has not yet become your space. If living in this body brings you tiredness and boredom, you are not going to be living in this body forever. When that becomes too much, you are going to drop it and move ahead. If you want to be in oneness forever, it should become part of your space, means you should become ferocious with you and break this very tiredness and boredom. Only when you deal you with the ferociousness, you break the tiredness and boredom. With that ferociousness, you need to make oneness as your space. Anything stands as an imagination in the length level, visualization in the breadth level, declaration in the depth level. If you open your time with ferociousness, it just sinks into space level. With this ferociousness, the time layer in you opens, and the oneness from imagination to visualization to declaration, it becomes your space, the way of existence.
the most important, Bhagavan says, being unclutched, understanding the Shaktipada, the oneness space, and chanting the Mahavakya. The Mahavakya, the power of the Mahavakya pushes you into the higher states of consciousness. Here Bhagavan himself explains how we can experience the Shaktipada, raised higher consciousness through Mahavakya.
It's one of the very important revelation by Sadashiva. All the electronic equipments work when the electrons are made to vibrate. That happens by the light. When the electricity is supplied, the light particle vibrates, the electronic equipment starts working. Just like that, the spiritual power and the umbilical cord connection, spiritual umbilical cord connection between you and me, it works with sound particle. For example, my integrity with the cosmos, Sadashiva, Mahasadashiva, it reverberates in certain level of frequency. When you are integrated to me, you also start reverberating in the same frequency. If your integrity goes down, that is when you start connecting with me only as a manager or this organization head or your Purvashram father, mother. Your connection with me goes down to the lower level if the integrity gets reduced. I was wondering, what is the way we can bring people to the higher integrity immediately and the feeling connection, so they start manifesting the powers, they start staying in the space of Sadashivatva. Sadashiva revealed a beautiful sound. I can tell you, this is like a password. At any point, if you are not able to bring yourself to oneness, you are a little shaken, disturbed, or for some reason, you are not able to bring yourself to oneness. This is like a password. You type, whether your mind feels connected or not, the energy will start flowing in you beyond the depth dimension. You see, all mind oscillation, restlessness, all mental idea based feeling connected or not feeling connected is only length, breadth, depth level, not in the space level. But this sound will straight infuse energy from the space level. Like for example, if the power goes off, automatically the generator will get switched on and the power supply will be going on. So end result will not be lost. Whether government power supply or the generator power supply, end result will not be stopped. So whenever you feel little that oneness is, you are not catching it, just feed this password. Immediately the oneness will open up and you will start manifesting the powers, energy, and the whole space will shift. It is directly from Sadashiva. It's a beautiful sound. I don't even want to say it's a mantra. It is not even a mantra because there is no meaning in it. You can't derive a meaning for it. It just flashed like a password for all the initiations I am giving. One single password for all the initiations I am giving. And the initiations I gave, I am giving, I will be giving for all that. This is like one password. Don't even repeat like a mantra. Just feed like a password and it will just open up. Your whole being will open up. Listen carefully. It starts with the vibration Om. Listen and then repeat. Om. Very deep. Om. Nithyananda. Nithyananda. Maha Sabashivoham.
So Bhagavan gave beautiful explanation of how you can be in Shaktipada. Visualize Paramashiva who has come down as Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam from Kailasha. Remembering Paramashiva in your third eye, again and again, bringing your awareness to your third eye simply makes you manifest powers. Absolute unclutching. How Bhagavan said, the neutral zone, nothing ever touches the screen. Like same way, the movie does not touch the screen, whether it is happening in ferocious or any soft, beautiful, nothing touches the screen. Be unclutched like the screen. And to experience the state of Paramashiva, your inner space being completely unclutched. Complete completion to experience the space of Paramashiva. Inside us, the complete completion happens when we are in tune with Paramashiva. That everything is redundant and irrelevant. The essence of completion is irrelevant. Nothing matters in your life because everything is complete completion. Oneness with Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, in ferocious breaking the boredom and tiredness, just being in the space of oneness with Paramashiva to manifest the powers of Paramashiva. Tyaga as Paramashiva is your only strength, now declaring complete integrity with Bhagavan to experience the being of Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, chanting the Mahavakya raises your frequency and that is your only strength to manifest any reality. Being in this beautiful space of Paramashiva, you can experience such a beautiful space, state, powers, and becoming the being of Paramashiva, manifesting whatever you want. Now, you will be manifesting the powers, watching the oneness capsule, and chanting the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. We'll be playing the Mahavakya and the oneness capsule for you to manifest powers. At end of the Mahavakya, you can start with the verification and sharing and causing. Thank you.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Om
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, Let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Verification process. Please verify the following. Number 1, that the time and date stamp appear in your video. Number 2, the manifestation is captured at both locations. Number 3, that your video has a wide-angle horizontal view and that the cups are empty and clean and is in clear full view. Number 4, that you and your partner have not edited your video in any way and that the camera has not moved. Number 5, that yourself as well as your partner's video recording is continuous without stopping and restarting during the manifestation process. Number 6, that the teleportation of the uncommon colored powder from one cup to the other manifested from within the cup, physically before you on its own. Number 7, verify the videos recorded by you and your partner located at a distance for having manifested the power. Now that the verification process is complete, the next instructions will guide you where to upload and share your video. Thank you so much for your participation.
Beautiful. We are at the end of the power manifestation, but most important part of the power manifestation. Here, we are going to share all that you have manifested with the social media groups. Here we have Sri Kailasha Kotyar Manifesting Power groups. Thousands of people are part of that. And you can share there and you can post your powerful cognition and the videos. The link is tinyurl.com/powermanifestation. It is at the left corner of the page. You can click on it and you can post your beautiful experience in the Power Manifestation group. Why sharing and causing is very important part of Power Manifestation. Bhagavan beautifully explains that sharing is pulling us out of delusion and causing is liberating us. We are the ones who need to start experiencing the higher states of reality, how we need to exist. Beautifully, Bhagavan explains when you are sharing with others the ultimate beautiful multidimensional logic, your brain rewires into the higher space of consciousness, the Turyatita state. Again and again, when you experience even a little bit, you share with the world, your experience becomes reality. Same thing when you cause others to come and get initiated for higher reality, you are caused into the higher purpose, the ultimate reality. Bhagavan says extreme causing, extreme power manifestation is extreme causing. So beautifully he explains how our strength is declared on Paramashiva. The power manifestation happens exactly in tune to that. And sharing with the world, continuously reiterating ourselves the experience that we had from the powerful cognition and manifesting the space of Paramashiva, the state of Paramashiva, the beings of Paramashiva, we become Paramashiva. Go on sharing and causing, which is the most important part of how you have experienced your reality. When you go to a temple, we pray and we see that beautiful experience happen in us, and then share with the world that how amazing the temple experience has manifested as your reality. Same way, when you manifest powers, when you share with the world, it becomes more and more the depth cognition of you, and you will be experiencing more powers. Even if you're manifested very small, it does not matter the quantity. Bhagavan says the quality is important. If it is authentic, please go ahead and share with the world. Do not doubt, have self-doubt, self-denial, self-hatred come and block anything. Experience the ultimate in deep seeking and gratitude. Bhagavan manifest in you with a deep prayer, that asking Bhagavan to make this reality as your existential reality. With that, let's end with the Purna Mantra. Thanking Bhagavan for all these great experience. We have come to the end of the Power Manifestation course, and we end with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamadashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam Padaka Arpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you for participating in the Jnana Paddhati, Nithyananda Jnana Paddhati course. Please go ahead and select more power manifestation and every day experience the ultimate reality for yourself. Nithyananda.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham